Hello, and welcome into Tuesday Tea Time, where I sit down and discuss books, things that I've been thinking about, global events, etc. And I give like my little take. It might be a little rambly, but I just want this to be like a conversation between friends. This is my second episode of Tuesday Tea Time, so grab your warm beverage, a nice tea, maybe a coffee if that's your thing, and let's get into this one. Whenever you see me look down, it's because I am looking at my notes or I'm looking at my watch, which has myself on it, which is really cool to have like a little monitor. It's like a whole film production. If you're not new here and you've seen my last episode, then you can see I'm using a new mic. This isn't actually a new mic. I've had this in my whole setup for many years. I just haven't really been using it for music. I'm getting back into that, but that's for another video. But I thought that it would give me better sound quality and look really cutesy on my videos, so that's what's going on here. First, I just want to get into what I've been up to because I haven't uploaded in a little while. This past weekend, I had a girls' weekend, and I got to see all my best girlfriends, and I've got to make a new girlfriend, which is so fun. I love making female friendships. I love being friends with girls. I love girlhood. And there's such like a pureness to female relationships, and it's really beautiful and I love it so much. And during the weekend while I was there, my new shop, Earthly Bodies Creations, that I created with one of my best friends, has launched. So I will put the link to that down below. Be sure to look for us on social media. We will post cute, quirky little TikToks and reels, and you will be able to either purchase the clothing that we buy or you can purchase the patterns, which will be coming out hopefully sometime next week, I believe, or the week after. I have to be sure on that, but it'll all be linked down below so that you can follow along, you can place an order, or you can get the patterns yourself. So today, I am wanting to talk about how I've been reading The Hunger Games, rereading The Hunger Games, I should say, the original trilogy. And I finished the first book in like a day. They're really easy books to get through, and I think that they're very important books to read. I think that they're in the same vein as 1984 or Animal Farm, very George Orwell. And I feel that whenever I start reading something, everything around me starts showing me signs. And I kind of went over that when I read The Alchemy, and my last Tuesday tea time was about that. But I'm reading The Hunger Games, which, just a little recap of the Hunger Games. This is a post climate war civilization that is based in what is left of North America. It is a dictatorship, and it is really based on classism. There's also a lot of themes of racism in it, and how the rich subjugate the poor for their entertainment and for their labor. And I just feel like rereading The Hunger Games at this time. We saw what just happened in Iran, what the States is doing to Iran, and it's a really sad time right now. It's really easy to want to lose hope and feel like there's no purpose anymore. You might not want to, I don't know, keep pursuing your degree or go to work or do anything because it is such a scary time right now. We are literally in World War III right now. And we've already seen all the atrocities happening in Palestine, and we've seen this now again happening in Iran. We saw before what happened to Afghanistan and Iraq, and it really is hard to process all that's going on. And if you're closer to North America, if you're in North America like I am, you're really concerned also about what's going on in the United States with ICE and their and their current administration. It's a lot of crazy things are going on right now. And I think that we're kind of losing hope. And I think that we're losing hope because we can't stop scrolling. And I know I sound like your mother right now, but it actually is that damn phone. Because when we scroll away from a video that is showing us the terrible things that are happening, or somebody's giving an update, or the news is saying what's going on, we just kind of move away from the feeling. We try to get out of the uncomfortability, but it never really goes away. It's a very temporary solution for a long-term pain that we are all feeling. And unfortunately, like, you have to feel this pain. You have to feel the disappointment. You have to feel the sadness, the anger. And these are all very normal things to feel when you are seeing atrocity after atrocity being committed against innocent people, men, women, and children. It is insane what we are seeing in our phone every single day. Our nervous systems are not built for this type of thing. And so we have to find a way to process this grief and this loss and all these feelings of anger and sadness, or else it'll stay stuck with us. And we have to be able to find our purpose and what it is that we can do, realistically, that we can do that actually helps. I'm also rewatching the first Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. Crazy movies. I didn't realize that they use such silly, like, crazy transitions, but they're just so camp, those movies. The very popular saying that Uncle Ben says is, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that if you are able-bodied, you're in a more privileged position, or more privileged country, no matter what your background is, that it honestly is our responsibility to help out our neighbors. It is our responsibility to help out our community. I think that this rise in individualism and the loneliness epidemics have been very much calculated to keep us sad and stuck and feeling reliant on systems that aren't actually helpful to us, when really what is helpful to us is our community. And so for processing grief and feelings of sadness and anger towards all of this terribleness that's going on, we need to create rituals. And rituals don't have to be something that you find in a spell book. They don't have to be something that you wrote down in your grimoire, if you keep one like I do. But they can be totally made up in the moment. If you think, okay, this thing is happening, to feel these feelings and release this pain, I'm going to do this, it'll probably work. Especially when you do this kind of thing with your community, with your safe people, with your friends or family. There was a study that was done, and I'll try to find it and link it, and it was about how they took two groups of people, and they said, okay, one person in this group is going to win a couple $100. And they had the group of people that they told, okay, this person won a couple $100, and they had to sit in that disappointment. And then the other group, they're like, okay, this person won a couple $100, and instead of just sitting in the disappointment, they gave this other group of people a ritual to follow, where they wrote out their feelings of disappointment, they burnt it or put salt on it or something and threw it over like their left shoulder or something. And basically their bodies were able to process a lot faster than the people who just sat in it, or who didn't even do anything to process this disappointment. What also helped was that they were around people that were doing this ritual with them, that were holding space for them to feel these emotions, like a facilitator of sorts, to hold on to what they're feeling. And it really helped them to process these emotions. And this is why our ancestors would do ritual to process what they were feeling, as well as celebrate, obviously, different times of the year and stuff like that. But these sort of rituals that were done, like how all cultures have burial rituals, all cultures have wedding rituals, etc. These are done so that we can process what we are feeling and to keep going with our lives so that it doesn't stay with us and make us sick and create illness and disease in the body. If you've read The Body Keeps Score, lovely book, it literally talks about how even though mentally you might have kind of gotten over something, your body will always remember that trauma. And it can come up through like panic attacks, it can manifest through illness and disease, or always getting sick, or always having a suppressed immune system. So you're always in fight or flight because your body will always remember these things. So it's really good to have a time to create a ritual that you feel will help you process this grief, because that's the first step in helping our community and helping our global community and helping out people. Processing everything you're feeling, everything you've seen on your social media, just feeling it and alchemizing it into power, alchemizing it into momentum to do good, to do better for your community and for yourself. So it actually is right now 3/3 when I'm uploading this and filming this, March 3rd, third month, third day, and it is the Virgo full moon eclipse, the blood moon, and this is a great time to create a little ritual for yourself for releasing. All full moons are a great time to sit and write out all the things that you want to release, whether that's habits or sadness or grief or disappointment or whatever it is. Writing out your feelings of what you've been feeling, what hasn't been working for you, and just giving it to the universe, giving it to the goddess, to God, to the higher power, to your higher self, whatever you want to call this oneness that we are all a part of. And one thing that I like to do that is to write it out, like I said, and burn it. If you're able to go outside and burn something, like in a fire safe dish, maybe it even has water in the bottom of it just so that it just goes out, or even flash paper, because flash paper will just and be gone and there's like no smoke. Writing out what you want to release and burning it, the symbolic burning of this thing will tell your brain it's gone. It's no longer in my hands. I do not have to go through this anymore alone, because now the universe is holding it with me. And an even more fun thing to do is when you get with your friends, you have one of these ceremonies where you just write everything down. I did this for my 21st birthday, because you can also do it by bringing things in. So for me, what we all wrote down were different things. I had this big piece of paper and I went around the circle to ask all my friends, well, what do you want to bring in? And what do we want to let go of? And then we had a bonfire in my backyard and we just threw it into the fire. And I haven't thought about it since, until right now, actually saying it. And if you saw my Yule vlogs, then you'll know that I did the 13 Magical Nights rituals, where every day for 12 nights, I write down a wish, or I pick a wish that I've written down. I don't even see what it is. I just throw it into the fire and I don't think about it. And the universe will take care of it. And I haven't thought about all of the things. I have them written down somewhere, but I know that they've come true. I've known a lot of them have come true so far. And basically what this has done is, yes, it can seem woo-woo. If you're not very woo-woo, then it's not for you. But it is also scientific. It literally works with your subconscious, with your nervous system, with your conscious brain even, just to let it know this is gone, this has passed, this is okay. You know? So now that we know how to process, what are things that we can actually do? The first thing I would say is to stop waiting for the Mockingjay, or stop waiting for an event to happen, because there have already been a lot of people that have done things, but nothing is changing because nobody is getting organized with their community. Nobody is going out there to actually meet up with their community members and see, okay, what do we need? What do we need to do? Because everybody's scared, because they're waiting for instruction. But what needs to be happening right now is taking personal initiative towards these things. If you don't have a group in your area that is willing to put on a protest, or there's no protest planned for right now, get a group of your friends. Get them to get their friends, their family that are all for your cause, and organize it. If there's no charities that you know are donating to certain causes, create one, create a fund, and then everybody can just send in $1. You know how much a dollar can do to help people's lives? So much. So much. So if everybody were to donate, say you have, I don't know, a community of 50 people, everybody donates $1. That is $50 towards this charity, towards this cause, towards your local food bank. That's a lot of meals that $50 can provide for people. Stop waiting for people to come save you, because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you except for you. And what you have to do is stop thinking so individualistically and thinking that you owe people nothing, because we owe our community everything. That is how we survive. That is how we thrive. We all do better when we all do better. We need to come up with real solutions, and you have to talk to your community members about them, and you have to follow through on them, which can be really hard, and it can be really easy to be discouraged because all we keep seeing is negativity, and that's on purpose. That's on purpose. And this isn't like a surprise. Like, this isn't new information. This isn't anything like that, but you're hearing bad news on purpose. And not only that, but if you keep engaging with the bad news, you're just going to keep getting bad news. You know? You're not going to see the happy things that keep happening. I follow an account, and I forgot his name right now, but I'll put it literally like right here or like somewhere here. And he posts good news every single day. I follow a lot of accounts like that because it really helps you stay positive that this world is not ending, that your life is not coming to an end, that this is not the end of the world, but maybe it is the end of the world as we know it. Maybe we are going through a dark time so that on the other side, we don't have poverty anymore. We don't have homelessness and people that are unhoused. We don't have class wars anymore. We don't have a small population of rich, racist people subjugating all of the rest of us. We don't have all of these things that are killing our planet and killing the wildlife and killing our animal brothers and sisters. We don't have people invading lands and taking it as their own anymore. Maybe in this new world, we honor the treaties, we honor the nature around us, we honor each other, and maybe we need to go through this dark time, and we need to be the ones that are willing to change all of these dark times that have been happening for the past, 2,000 plus years. I think that we're moving into a new era of really sad times. I'm really trying to keep my hopes up. And like I said, it can be hard to. But just remember that you have your community. And even if you don't have a physical community, make one online. You know? This can be a little community of people who are really about peace in the world. I'll put my link tree in the caption, and there are a bunch of charities that you can donate to if you so choose. There's a lot of different things that I'm working towards. Sustainability for the planet, social justice, equity for racialized people and for women and non-binary people and trans people, queer people as a whole, and really finding inner peace. I saw this quote and it said, "But I'm just one person," said 8 billion people. There's over 8 billion people on this planet. And if we all think that we're helpless, then we're all helpless. But if we all think that we have the power to do something, then we will do it. And we will succeed in having a peaceful world where everyone and everything thrives, where no one goes hungry or cold, where no one is scared of losing their home, losing their friends in a war. My final thoughts are read The Hunger Games if you haven't reread them, if you haven't reread them in a while, because it is a social commentary on our world. Read or reread 1984 and Animal Farm. Handmaid's Tale, read Handmaid's Tale. Read all those things, because when you read them from a view of this is speaking about our world, it doesn't feel like fiction anymore. But it also doesn't make you feel hopeless, because in these books, there are people who rebel, who are radical, and they fight to see the world that they believe is possible to see. Be the change that you want to see, because it really does work. I hope that you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching this Tea Time Tuesday. I hope to film a new one soon when I'm struck with inspiration for what I want to talk about. I'll probably make a new one when I read another book series or when I read another book. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in handmade sustainable clothing, link is down below to my shop, Earthly Bodies Creations, and all of our social media is also available there. If you want to have the patterns, those will be available next week, so that you can make these clothes instead of just buying them if you have the materials or the skill to do so. Cherish your friends, cherish your family, cherish yourself, love your community, go out into nature. It's cold, but put on a jacket. If you're in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, enjoy your last little bit of summer. I hope that you all have a blessed day. Stay kind, stay resilient, and stay peaceful. Love ya. So, I got a little passionate there, like preaching right now. My God.